Jai Shri Gurudev. Dear students, today we are going to talk about chemical reactions, 10th standard science chapter number 1. In this chapter, we will discuss regarding chemical reactions and some examples we are going to discuss. Let me start. So, in this chapter, which contains many contents among chemical reactions, chemical equations, combinations, exothermic, decomposition, endothermic, displacement, precipitation, double displacement, oxidation, reduction, redox, rusting, and rancidity. They are some contents are included in this chapter. Let me start first one, chemical reactions, and we have to discuss some examples. Among first one, see here in this example, what happens when milk is left at room temperature during summer, maybe 6 to 8 hours. What happens? Can you guess, students? Yes, what happens? Curdling of milk takes place. Means milk converted into curds. ಹಾಲು ಮಸರಾಗಿ ಪರಿವರ್ತನೆಗೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ. Okay. Let me discuss another example. What happens when an iron tawa is left exposed to humid atmosphere? What is meant by humid, dear students? What is meant by humid? Humid means moist in nature, means environment contains high concentration of water molecules, that what you call humid. What happens if iron exposed to moist content environment, or we can say humid environment? Yes, rusting of iron takes place, means iron get rusting. This is another example. This is a very good example for chemical reactions. Next one. What happens when grapes are fermented? What is meant by fermented, dear students? Can you know this? Fermented means if organisms are respire without oxygen, then what you call fermented. That what you call fermented. So during this process, the glucose will be converted into ethyl alcohol. The fermentation is also called as anaerobic respiration, means respiration takes place without oxygen. That what you call. So microorganisms, they will be converted glucose into ethyl alcohol. So see what happens. Alcohol is produced. Yes, alcohol is formation takes place. Next one. What happens when food is cooked? What happens when food is cooked? Lot of chemical reaction takes place. Alter the chemical composition of various nutrients. So while heating, also kills the several microorganisms which are present in the foodstuffs. So these are the reactions takes place. Next, what happens in our body? The food get digested. What happens? The food digestion, after the food digestion, they form simplest molecules. For example, carbohydrates are converted into glucose. Yes, very good. These glucose, during cellular respiration, it combined with oxygen, they release energy in the form of ATP. You know what is meant by ATP. So, through energy is released. Energy in the form of heat. So, you know, every organisms needed energy for daily its activities, for cellular activities. That's why, so after the release of energy, there is the elimination of carbon dioxide and water. They are the waste products are formed. These are also a very good example for chemical reactions. So, energy release formed in the form of ATP. ATP full form is adenosine triphosphate. This is the full form of ATP. So, next what you discuss, what happens when we respire. ನೀವು ಉಸಿರಾಟ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ? What happens? Already we discuss. So, oxygen combines with food, they release energy in the form of waste. During this time, there is a elimination of waste products like carbon dioxide and water. While breathing, what we intake? Intake is O2. So, and exhale is CO2. So due to chemical reactions, carbon dioxide is released along with water. They are the very good example for some chemical reactions. So, release of energy takes place with the help of enzymes. Lot of enzymes are required during respiration process. Next, physical change. So, we are going to discuss about difference between chemical reactions and physical reactions. So, what is physical change? Observe carefully in this picture. So, here in the first diagram, this diagram, ice, in this water, in this water vapor we are observing. So, water will be changes in different states. For example, ice, it is in solid. In the water, it is in the liquid. So, whereas in the vapor, it is in the gaseous form. Means the water in different physical state. But you have to remember, there is no chemical change. Means there is no new substance are formed. This is the important. So, there is no new substances are formed. This is very important in the physical change. Next, we have to another example for chemical change. Observe this carefully. In the first case, this one, apple, bread, iron nails and burning process. In the first case, the decaying apple takes place. Decaying of apple. Then what happens here? Bread is converted into foliage. Means it is not useful for eatable substances. Then iron nails converted into rust. Then here, if you are firing, there is a chemical reactions. Means in these examples, we can carefully observe. So, there is a change and formation of new substance. These are the major differences between physical and chemical reactions. So, physical reaction, there is no new substance formed. In the chemical reactions, there is a formation of new substances. Then, how can you define a chemical reaction? How can you define a chemical reaction? Chemical reactions are the process in which new substance with new properties are formed. This is very important. New substances are formed with new properties. A very good example, if you burn paper, paper converted into ash. Ash is the new property. Ash is the new substances. So, in this way, we can convey or we can define what is meant by a chemical reactions. Got this point, I think, my dear students. Next, what happens when magnesium ribbon is burnt in air? Usually, magnesium easily not react with air. It requires some heat. React with air, it requires some heat. So, magnesium ribbon burns with a dazzling white flame and changes into a white powder. Dazzling white flame. ನೀವು ಸುಸರು ಬತ್ತಿ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ದೀಪಾವಳಿ ಹಬ್ಬದಲ್ಲಿ ಬಳಸ್ತಿರಲ್ಲ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಆ ಥರ ಚಟ್ 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 ಅಂತೇಳಿ ಗ್ಲೋಯಿಂಗಿಂದ, ವೈಟ್ ಲೈಟ್ ಗ್ಲೋಯಿಂಗಿಂದ ಬರ್ನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನೇ ಡ್ಯಾಜ್ಲಿಂಗ್ ವೈಟ್ ಫ್ಲೇಮ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಇದರ ಆ್ಯಶ್ ಹೇಗಿರುತ್ತೆ? ವೈಟ್ ಪೌಡರ್. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಪೌಡರ್ ವಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಇಟ್ ಆಸ್ ಮೆಗ್ನೀಷಿಯಮ್ ಆಕ್ಸೈಡ್. ಸೊ ಹಿಯರ್, so what happens? It burns with dazzling white flame. This is one. Then it changes into white powder. The first case. This is the first, you have to remember the point. What happens when magnesium ribbon burns with oxygen in presence of heat? So dazzling white flame formed and it converted into white powder. Then the white powder, chemically what you call, that should be magnesium oxide. The white powder is magnesium oxide. So it is formed due to the reaction between magnesium and oxygen. These two chemicals are react. Which one? Magnesium and oxygen in the presence of air. So this is very important. So which will be simplified into equation form also. So in this picture, will be observed, this is magnesium ribbon. In the presence of the heat, if you burn the magnesium, we will get it white powder. That what you call magnesium oxides. So, you have to know about the properties of the magnesium. Magnesium is an extremely reactive metal. When stored, it reacts with oxygen to form a layer of magnesium oxide on its surface. This layer of magnesium oxide is quite stable and prevents further reaction of magnesium with oxygen. Hence, magnesium ribbon is cleaned by sandpaper or removing this layer so that underlying metal can be cleared. So that's why magnesium required some heat to react with oxygen. So when you are stored, it reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide on its surface. This is very important. It reacts with oxygen to form magnesium oxide layer on the surface, not inner. So this oxide is quite stable and prevents the further reaction of magnesium with oxygen. So what we have to do? While burning of the magnesium ribbon is cleaned by sandpaper for removing this layer. Then only magnesium react with oxygen and it will burn with dazzling flame and produce magnesium oxide. That what you call white powder. That is should be ash of the magnesium. So this is another one example. What happens when potassium iodide is added into a test tube containing lead nitrate solution? So potassium iodide added to lead nitrate solution. What happens? in the test tube. So potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate, it forms potassium nitrate and lead iodide. These points. So potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate. What it forms? Potassium nitrate and lead iodide. These are the form. So in the reactions we can represent potassium iodide. Which one? This is lead nitrate. This is potassium nitrate. This one. Lead iodide. This one. So potassium iodide react with lead nitrate. It forms potassium nitrate and lead iodide. These are formed. See here, potassium iodide reacts with lead nitrate solutions. Both solutions are in the liquid nature. That's why we are showing. So potassium iodide, this is in one beaker, and lead nitrate, this is in another beaker. Similarly, another one reactions. What happens when dilute hydrochloric acid added to conical flask containing few zinc granules? See, dilute hydrochloric acid added to a conical flask which contain few zinc granules means hydrochloric acid react with zinc. What happens? So in this case, hydrochloric acid react with zinc. So in this case, we can clearly see zinc, this one, dilute hydrochloric acid 2HCl and formation of a zinc chloride, this one, and formation of hydrogen gas. This is very important. So zinc react with dilute HCl, it forms zinc chloride and hydrochloric or hydrogen gas. These are the form. See here in this picture, you can clearly see. So these are the zinc granules. For this you have to add hydrochloric acid, that what you call HCl. So one is, this is solid, this is liquid. But remember this. Then what happens when dilute sulfuric acid added to conical flask containing few zinc granules? So here in the last or previous equations we are adding hydrochloric acid, but here in this case we are adding sulfuric acid, dilute sulfuric acid. Remember this. So then the summary of this, zinc reacts with dilute sulfuric acid. So zinc Zn, sulfuric acid H2SO4, what it forms? Zinc sulfate and release of hydrogen gas. This is the summary. When zinc react with sulfuric acid, it forms zinc sulfate and release of hydrochloric acid. So here in this picture, in the test tube contains zinc granules and we are adding dilute sulfuric acid for this, and it formation of zinc sulfate and liberation of hydrogen gas. In this diagram, what do you observe happening around the zinc granules? So conical flask which contains zinc granules here. What we are adding? Acid. It may be sulfuric acid or hydrochloric acid. Then we can see in bubbles of hydrogen gas which are formed around the zinc granules. So we are adding here, in this case, dilute sulfuric acid. So conical flask contains zinc sulfate and you are adding dilute sulfuric acid and release of hydrogen gas. And next diagram, zinc granules which contains dilute sulfuric acid in the conical flask in this diagram. During while reactions, what happens? Is there any change in the temperature in the conical flask? Yes. If you observe, touch the conical flask, there is a rise in temperature. So if you touch this conical flask, there is some rising temperatures. Conical flask ಬಿಸಿ ಆಗಿರೋದನ್ನು ಗಮನಿಸ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಇಸ್ ಎ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಹೀಟ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗೋ ಚಾನ್ಸಸ್ ಇದೆ ಈ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಫೈನಲೈಸ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ವಾಟ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಚೇಂಜಸ್? ದಿ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, changes in state, new properties are formed, changes of color, gas release, very good example, hydrogen gas releases, and during chemical reaction temperature releases and formation of precipitate. ನೊರೆ ಅಂತ ಸ್ಟ್ರಕ್ಚರ್ಸ್ ನಿಮಗೆ ಕಾಣಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ಳುತ್ತೆ, ಅದನ್ನು ಪ್ರೆಸಿಪಿಟೇಟ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆದಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದಿ ಕ್ಯಾರೆಕ್ಟರಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. May be asked in your examination for 2 marks, dear students. You have to find out these points are very important. Next, chemical equations. The method of representing a chemical reaction with the help of symbols and formulas of the substances involved in its known as chemical equations. ಅಂದರೆ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡ ದೊಡ್ಡ ವರ್ಡ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳೋದು ಬದಲಾಗಿ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸ್, ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೈಡ್ರೋಜನ್ಗೆ H ಅಂತೀವಿ, ಜಿಂಕಿಗೆ ZN ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡಿಗೆ H2SO4 ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಹೈಡ್ರೋಕ್ಲೋರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡಿಗೆ HCl ಅಂತಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಈ ಥರ ಸಿಂಬಲ್ಸನ್ನು, ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿ ನಾವು ರೆಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ದಟ್ ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂತಾರೆ. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಒಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೋಡಿರಿ, ನಿಮಗೆ ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗ್ಬೋದು. ನೋಡಿ, ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಲಿ ಅಬ್ಸರ್ವ್ ದ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ನಾವು ಇದನ್ನು RHS ಅಂದ್ಕೊಳ್ಳೋಣ, RHS, ಇದನ್ನು LHS, ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್, ರೈಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್ ಸೈಡ್. ಈ ಆರೋ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದ್ರ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೈಟ್ ಸೈಡಿಗೆ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಅದು LHS ಆಗುತ್ತೆ, ಆ ಕಡೆ ಇರೋದು RHS ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಅಂದರೆ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ವಿಚ್ ಅಂಡರ್ಗೋ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್. ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. ಯಾವ ವಸ್ತುಗಳು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಚೇಂಜ್ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಒಳಪಡುತ್ತೋ ಅವನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೀತಾರೆ. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಜಿಂಕು ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಜೊತೆ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದೆ, ಗ್ಯಾಸ್ ರಿಲೀಸ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಇದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾಗಿ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಮತ್ತು ಈ ಸಲ್ಫ್ಯೂರಿಕ್ ಆ್ಯಸಿಡ್ ಏನಂತ ಅನ್ನೋಣ, ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತ ಕರೆಯೋಣ. ವಾಟ್ ಯು ಕಾಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಲೆಫ್ಟ್ ಸೈಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬರೆದಂಥವೇನು, ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ಇವನ್ನ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂತೀವಿ. ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸು ನ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದು. ಅಂದರೆ ನ್ಯೂ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ಡ್ಯೂರಿಂಗ್ ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ದ ನ್ಯೂ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಜಿಂಕ್ ಸಲ್ಫೇಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ hydrogen gas. These are considered as the products. ಅರ್ಥ ಆಗಿದೆ ನಿಮಗೆ. ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ಸ್. ರಿಯಾಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ಪ್ರಾಡಕ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸೇರಿಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ರಿಯಾಕ್ಷನ್ಸ್ ಆಗಿ ಕಂಪ್ಲೀಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್. ಈ ಸ್ಕೆಲಿಟಲ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಿಂಗ್ ಈಕ್ವೇಷನ್ ಅಂದ್ರೇನು, ಹೌ ಟು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ these equations we'll learn briefly in the next class. Thank you, my dear students. Have a nice day.